Welcome to part 55 of the Unsolved Mysteries Iceberg, where we explore true crime, urban legends, mysterious disappearances, myths and legends, internet mysteries, and more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. The identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto is the pseudonym used by the unknown person or group who developed Bitcoin. They introduced the concept of cryptocurrency and authored the white paper Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, in 2008. Bitcoin is the world's first decentralized cryptocurrency based on blockchain technology, which Nakamoto also devised. This blockchain system ensures the security and verification of transactions through a consensus mechanism called proof of work. Nakamoto's involvement in Bitcoin's development included writing the original code, developing the initial software, and making significant contributions to the code base. Nakamoto completely disappeared from public view in 2011 and has remained silent since. This sudden departure coincided with regulatory scrutiny and may have been a strategic move to protect their identity and ensure Bitcoin's decentralized nature. Several theories and speculations have emerged regarding Nakamoto's true identity. Some prominent figures often mentioned include Hal Finney, Dorian Nakamoto, Nick Szabo, and Craig Wright. Hal Finney was a notable cryptographic pioneer and the first person to use Bitcoin software, report bugs, and receive a Bitcoin transaction from Nakamoto. Some speculated Finney might be Nakamoto due to his close proximity to another candidate, Dorian Nakamoto, and writing analysis that showed similarities between their writings. However, Finney denied being Nakamoto and provided email correspondences with Nakamoto to support his claim. Dorian Nakamoto, a Japanese-American physicist living in California, was identified by journalist Leah McGrath Goodman in a 2014 Newsweek article. Goodman pointed to his name, background in classified projects, and libertarian views as potential indicators. Dorian Nakamoto, however, ultimately ended up denying any connection to Bitcoin. Nick Szabo, a computer scientist known for his work on digital currency and smart contracts, was linked to Bitcoin through stylometric analysis of his writings. Szabo had previously conceptualized a precursor to Bitcoin called BitGold, sharing many similarities with Bitcoin. Despite these links, Szabo has repeatedly denied being Nakamoto. Craig Wright, an Australian computer scientist, publicly claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto in 2016 and has provided some evidence to support his claim. However, his assertion has been met with skepticism within the cryptocurrency community due to inconsistencies and lack of definitive proof. In March 2024, a justice of the High Court of England found definitively that there was no proof whatsoever that Wright was Nakamoto. Other theories suggest that Nakamoto could be a collective effort by a group of cryptographers or even an entity like the NSA or CIA, but none of these theories have been substantiated. Notably, a declassified NSA paper from 1996 has been said to contain an outline of Bitcoin. Notably, the wallet associated with Nakamoto contains around 1 million Bitcoins. If Nakamoto is an individual person, this places him amongst the wealthiest people in the world. However, this Bitcoin wallet has long been completely inactive. The disappearance of boss Jan Ader. Ader was a Dutch conceptual and performance artist known for his minimalist works and the mysterious circumstances surrounding his disappearance in 1975. Born on April 19, 1942, in the Netherlands, Ader's artistic career, though brief, left a lasting impact on the art world. Ader's work often explored themes of failure, gravity, and the search for the sublime. One of his most notable series is the Fall series, consisting of short films where he documented himself falling from various heights and situations. These films were emblematic of his fascination with the inevitability of failure and the human struggle against natural forces. I note that some take that his works were perhaps a sign of mental struggles, given the bleak outlook portrayed. In 1975, Ader embarked on what would become his final project, In Search of the Miraculous. This ambitious piece was conceived as a three-part work, with the second part involving a solo transatlantic voyage from the United States to Europe. On July 9, 1975, Ader set sail from Chatham, Massachusetts, on a 13-foot sailboat named Ocean Wave. His journey was meant to culminate in a performance and photographic series capturing the essence of his search for the miraculous in the vastness of the ocean. Tragically, he never completed his journey as planned. His boat was found nearly a year later, partially submerged off the coast of Ireland, but the artist himself was never found. The circumstances of his disappearance have remained a subject of speculation, fueling numerous theories about what might have happened to him during the voyage. One theory suggests that Ader's disappearance was a calculated part of his art, a final act of performance that blurred the lines between life and art. His earlier works, which often involved elements of danger and risk, lend some credence to this idea. However, without concrete evidence, this remains purely speculative. Another theory speculates that he did not intend to complete the journey. That is to say, that he removed himself from his vessel in a consensual fashion. However, again, there is no evidence whatsoever that he ended himself, aside from the gloomy outlook presented in his art. Another theory posits that Ader encountered severe weather or mechanical failure that led to his disappearance. The Atlantic Ocean is notoriously unpredictable, and a solo voyage on such a small vessel would have been fraught with peril. This theory is supported by the fact that his boat was found damaged, indicating that he may have faced insurmountable challenges during the journey. Ader's wife documented his departure and later efforts to locate him. Despite extensive searches and the discovery of the damaged boat, no definitive answers have emerged. Ader's legacy endures through his body of work, which continues to be exhibited and studied. Exhibitions of his work have been held at major institutions worldwide, including the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Swift's Silver Mine. The legend of Swift's Silver Mine is a persistent tale in Appalachian folklore, captivating treasure hunters and historians for centuries. The story of Swift's Silver Mine begins around 1760, when an Englishman named Jonathan Swift is said to have discovered a rich vein of silver in the Appalachian Mountains. This vein of silver was specifically located in the areas that now constitute Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee. Swift allegedly found the mine while following a wounded bear, which led him to a cave brimming with silver ore. Swift and his associates supposedly mined large quantities of silver over several years, burying caches of coins and ingots throughout the region. The key to the legend lies in Swift's journal, which purportedly detailed the location of the mines and the routes to the hidden silver. After going blind, Swift entrusted his journal to a woman known as the Widow Renfrew, and copies of the alleged journal have since circulated among treasure hunters. These journals have inspired numerous expeditions, with various versions and maps adding to the confusion and allure of the search. One of the earliest references to the mine comes from John Filson, a historian and mapmaker, who in 1788 claimed a tract of land that supposedly included Swift's mine. Filson's entry described Swift extracting a significant quantity of silver and even minting his own coins, though he mysteriously disappeared later that year, further deepening the mystery. Over the years, many individuals have claimed to have found or come close to finding the elusive mine. In the 1840s, Reverend John Dabney Shane interviewed several Kentucky pioneers who recounted their own attempts, or those of their ancestors, to locate the mine. Another claim includes that of Solomon Mullins, also known as Money-Making Saul, who in the early 19th century was rumored to have discovered silver near Pine Mountain, Virginia. Mullins allegedly used the silver to mint counterfeit coins, which he mixed with other metals. His operations were eventually discovered, and he was tried for counterfeiting, but escaped before being sentenced, taking the secret of the mine's location with him. In the late 20th century, significant expeditions were launched with considerable financial backing. One such expedition in the 1990s, based in Elkhorn City, Kentucky, involved significant financial backing. Despite extensive searches using maps, journals, and modern equipment, no definitive evidence of the mine was found. Despite numerous claims and continuous interest, geological evidence casts significant doubt on the existence of Swift's silver mine. Geologists have not found any substantial silver deposits in the regions where the mine is purported to be located. Some experts suggest that the legend might have been a cover for counterfeiting activities, or even a literary invention by John Filson to promote land sales. Skeptics also point to inconsistencies in the various versions of Swift's journal. Many of these journals contain plagiarized sections from other historical texts and include anachronistic references, further questioning their authenticity. Also, thank you to Discord member Big Man for this obscure and interesting suggestion. The Roman ruins of Guanabara Bay. In the 1980s, marine archaeologist Robert Marks made a startling discovery in Guanabara Bay, Rio de Janeiro. Diving into the bay's depths, Marks uncovered a collection of Roman amphorae, large clay jars typically used by Romans to transport goods like wine and olive oil. The discovery of these amphorae, initially believed to date back to the 3rd century AD, posed a significant challenge to the accepted narrative of South America's discovery. If authentic, these jars would suggest that Roman sailors might have reached Brazil over 1,000 years before the Portuguese explorer Pedro Álvares Cabral. Cabral is traditionally credited with discovering Brazil in 1500. Robert Marks, already a renowned figure in marine archaeology, argued that these artifacts indicated a Roman shipwreck. He proposed that the ship, blown off course by a storm, ended up in Guanabara Bay. Supporting his claim, Marks pointed out the incrustations of barnacles and coral on the jars, suggesting they had been submerged for centuries. However, this theory was met with skepticism. Critics questioned the legitimacy of Marks's findings, pointing to his reputation for sensationalism and treasure hunting rather than scholarly rigor. The controversy deepened when a wealthy businessman, Americo Santarelli, claimed the amphorae were replicas he had commissioned and discarded in the bay in the 1960s. This revelation cast significant doubt on the authenticity of the artifacts. Adding to the complexity, Marks accused the Brazilian Navy of deliberately covering the site with silt to prevent further exploration. Marks suggested a conspiracy to preserve the historical narrative that honored Portuguese discovery. This claim has been denied by the Brazilian authorities, who have attributed Marks's ban from further explorations to allegations of artifact theft. Despite these controversies, some experts have defended the jar's authenticity. Elizabeth Will, a professor of classics at MIT and an expert on Roman amphorae, identified the jars as similar to those produced in the Roman colony of Kouas on Morocco's Atlantic coast. This analysis provided some academic backing to Marx's assertions, although it is important to note that the professor did not endorse Marx's specific claims. Today, the debate over the Guanabara Bay amphorae still remains unresolved. No comprehensive, peer-reviewed archaeological survey has been conducted to definitively determine the origins of these jars. The Brazilian government's ban on underwater exploration in the bay has continued to further impede efforts to uncover the truth. Juana Maria. Juana Maria, known as the Lone Woman of San Nicolas Island, is a mysterious figure whose story inspired the book Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott Odell. San Nicolas is a remote island located in the Channel Island chain near the coast of Los Angeles. Her tale, a blend of history and legend, offers a glimpse into the life of a woman who survived alone on an isolated island for nearly 2 decades. Hanan Maria was part of the Nicoleno tribe, who lived on San Nicolas Island for thousands of years. The tribe's existence was disrupted in the early 1800s by Russian and Aleut fur traders hunting sea otters, leading to violent conflicts and a drastic population decline. By 1835, the remaining Nicolenos were relocated to the mainland by missionaries. Hanan Maria, however, was left behind, reportedly because she jumped overboard to search for her missing child and was not retrieved before the ship departed. Hanan Maria's solitary life on San Nicolas became a legend, with occasional sightings by passing sailors. In 1853, a fur trader finally found her living in a hut made of whale bones and brush. She greeted the rescuers with a smile and willingly accompanied them back to the mainland. On the island, she survived by hunting and gathering, using tools and methods passed down from her ancestors. Artifacts recovered from her dwelling, including bone needles and woven water bottles, attest to her resourcefulness and the continuity of Nicoleno culture. Upon her arrival in Santa Barbara, Hanan Maria became a curiosity. She often sang and danced for visitors, sharing what little she could communicate through her songs. The mystery of Hanan Maria's survival and her eventual fate has spurred numerous theories. Some speculate that she was not entirely alone. Archaeological evidence suggests occasional visits by other Native American groups or hunters. Moreover, her ability to maintain tools and create clothing indicates a deep knowledge of her environment and traditional skills. Her precise reasons for remaining on the island are also debated. Some believe she stayed to search for her child or another missing relative. Others suggest she might have been accidentally left behind or chose to remain in familiar territory despite the dangers. Old Green Eyes. This is a suggestion by community member Sayacine. The origins of the Old Green Eyes legend are intertwined with the Battle of Chickamauga, one of the Civil War's bloodiest battles. The battlefield, now a national military park, is said to be haunted by numerous spirits, with Old Green Eyes being the most famous among them. The legend dates back to the days following the battle, where soldiers claim to have seen a pair of eerie green eyes roaming the battlefield, often near Snodgrass Hill. There are various descriptions of what Old Green Eyes might be. Some accounts describe it as the ghost of a Confederate soldier who lost his head to a cannonball. His spirit, unable to rest, searches the battlefield for his missing body. Others claim Old Green Eyes is an ancient, malevolent creature predating the Civil War, possibly from Native American folklore, where it was considered a guardian of sacred lands. Witnesses have reported seeing a tall, ghostly figure with glowing green eyes and long, stringy hair. In some stories, the figure has a grotesque appearance with sharp fangs and a menacing presence. These sightings often occur at night, with many people experiencing a sudden sense of dread or encountering unexplained phenomena such as malfunctioning equipment and strange noises. Numerous personal accounts add to the mystique of Old Green Eyes. For instance, Edward Tinney, a former historian and chief ranger at the park, recounted an eerie encounter in 1976. He described seeing a tall man with greenish-orange eyes, who vanished when a car's headlights hit him. This sighting, among many others, has fueled speculation and fear among those who visit the battlefield. The fugitive Adam Emery. On August 31, 1990, Adam Emery, along with his wife Elena and another couple, experienced a minor traffic accident in Warwick, Rhode Island. Their car, a 1985 Ford Thunderbird, was sideswiped by another vehicle while they were at a seafood stand. Angered and mistakenly believing that a red Ford LTD was responsible, Adam pursued the car driven by 20-year-old Jason Bass. The pursuit ended tragically when Adam forced Bass's car to stop. He confronted Bass with a military-style knife and, during the confrontation, stabbed Bass in the chest, ending him. To add to the horror, subsequent investigations revealed that Bass's car was not the one that had hit Adam's vehicle. Emery claimed he acted in self-defense, but the evidence did not support this assertion. He was arrested and charged with the second-degree slaying of Adam Bass. The legal proceedings dragged on for more than 2 years. During this time, Emery was released on bail after spending 8 months in custody. He rejected a plea deal for voluntary manslaughter that would have resulted in a lighter sentence, maintaining his innocence. On November 10, 1993, Adam Emery was convicted of second-degree ending and faced a potential 25-year prison sentence. However, he was allowed to remain free on bail pending formal sentencing, which seems to me to be a questionable idea in cases involving highly dangerous convicted felons. That same evening, Adam and his wife Elena vanished. They left the courthouse, made purchases at a sporting goods store, and were last seen eating at a Burger King. Hours later, their car was found abandoned on the Claiborne-Pell-Newport Bridge, with its engine running and personal items inside, including a note. This note suggested that they intended to voluntarily end themselves to escape the justice faced by Adam. Despite an extensive search, only Elena's skull was found in the Narragansett Bay months later. Elena's remains were identified through dental records, but the cause of her death could not be determined due to the condition of the remains. This discovery led to speculation that Adam had staged his own death. The circumstances surrounding Elena's death remain mysterious, with some believing she jumped from the bridge while Adam escaped. Others speculate that Adam used her to escape, and then slew her to add credibility to the story that they both ended themselves. And here's my hot take. Adam was, to put it mildly, not a good guy, and I can very easily see that he would have ended Elena if he believed that increased his chances of escape. Multiple sightings of Adam were reported in the years following his disappearance, including in states like Florida and countries such as Italy, where he had family connections. The FBI has kept the case open, considering Adam Emery a fugitive. In 2004, he was declared legally dead, but authorities have continued to follow leads. To this day, the FBI believes there is a significant possibility that Adam Emery is alive, potentially living at home or abroad under an assumed identity. Notably, the FBI added him to their 10 most wanted fugitives in 2010, despite him being legally deceased. If he is residing in the United States, the FBI believes that he is presently residing in Florida. If he is residing abroad, there have been numerous sightings of him in both France and Italy, and these sightings are believed to be credible by the FBI. Also, thanks to subscriber Kelly Barbera for this great Rhode Island-based mystery. Quick aside, I had asked Kelly in the comments if she knew any lesser-known mysteries from her state. I would love to hear lesser-known mysteries from your state, province, or country in the comments. The Beast of Busco. In the small town of Churubusco, Indiana, a creature known as the Beast of Busco has captured the imagination of locals and cryptid enthusiasts. This enormous snapping turtle, purported to weigh over 500 pounds and measuring nearly 6 feet across, has been the subject of numerous sightings and attempts to capture it. The story begins in 1898 when a farmer named Oscar Fulk claimed to have seen a gigantic turtle in the 7-acre lake on his farm. Despite his claims, the matter was largely forgotten until 1948. That year, 2 men, Charlie Wilson and Ora Blue, reported seeing a massive turtle while fishing on the same lake, now known as Folk Lake and owned by Gail Harris. This sighting reignited interest in the creature, and Harris himself claimed to see the turtle. Harris described it as being the size of a dining room table with a shell spiked like that of an alligator snapping turtle. The news spread quickly, attracting media attention and curious crowds to Harris's farm. In early 1949, the story of the Beast of Busco reached national prominence when it was picked up by wire services, resulting in a media frenzy and a flood of visitors to the area. Harris, determined to prove the turtle's existence, embarked on an ambitious campaign to capture it. His efforts included using traps, nets, and even a sea turtle to lure the beast, but all attempts failed. At one point, Harris drained the lake almost entirely, reducing it to a small muddy pit, yet Oscar, as the turtle was affectionately named, eluded capture. Despite the numerous setbacks, including a failed deep-sea diving attempt and broken equipment, the allure of the beast persisted. The hunt for Oscar took a toll on Harris both financially and physically, leading to his eventual abandonment of the quest in late 1949. The farm was sold the following year, and heavy rains refilled the lake, leaving the beast's fate a mystery. Theories about the beast's true nature abound. Some suggest that the sightings were exaggerated or the result of a hoax. Others believe that the creature could have been an unusually large alligator snapping turtle, a species known for its impressive size and longevity. However, no definitive evidence has ever been found to confirm the existence of such a gigantic turtle in Folk Lake. The legacy of the Beast of Busco lives on in Churubusco through the annual Turtle Days Festival, which began in 1950. This event celebrates the town's most famous resident with parades, turtle races, and various other festivities, cementing the beast's place in local folklore. A statue of a turtle now stands at the main intersection of Churubusco, serving as a constant reminder of the legendary creature that once captivated the nation for a brief moment. Jimmy here. Hope you've enjoyed part 55 of this ever-expanding Unsolved Mysteries Iceberg series. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This really helps my channel grow and allows me to dedicate substantial time and effort to producing content. Also, don't forget to hit the share button if you know someone who might appreciate it. Make sure to check out the YouTube membership and Patreon. You can support my channel for as little as 99 cents a month. Shout out to my patrons Noah Schubert, Iced Mocha, Kurt the Squirt, Monoxide Wendigo, Jeffer Metcalf, Z-Volts, Director Delta, Unknown Delusions, Faye, Jack Russell, Boomslang, Spookiest Becky, Vespertine, Metanova, Will Roan, and Blasphemous. Big shout out to YouTube member Jordan All. Until next time, stay safe and healthy. Peace out, everyone.